Well, howdy everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Stockshow Confidential. I'm Terry Jordan. This week, we're in the beautiful city of Kansas City, Missouri for the American Royale. You know, this started back in 1899, this great stock show. Each year, they'll award a little over $1.4 million in scholarships and educational opportunities. And you want to know what the economic impact is to this great city? Well, it's a little over $60 million, and they'll add 450 jobs. Follow me inside as we go to the American Royale. The American Royal was established to provide livestock producers a venue to showcase their beef. The city loved their stock show so much, they passed the name on to their local Major League Baseball team. Sports and cattle embrace this city's history and are a large part of its economy. To learn more about the American Royal, let's hear it from the chief. Friends, I'm sitting alongside Bob Peterson. He is the president and CEO here of the American Royal. Now, Bob, this has a long-standing tradition. It goes all the way back to 1899. The picture kind of in our background here sort of sets the stage for that. The history here is incredible.
It's a wonderful, wonderful Midwest icon. Began in 1899. Literally where we're sitting now is where this all began in the historic stockyards era of Kansas City. And when you think back to the heyday of the stockyards, we had a capacity down here for 175,000 head of animals.
Wow.
Incredible to think about, and it was an incredible economic engine for Kansas City in that era. We had the Big Five Packers all here. They employed together about 25,000 people. It was just, it's hard to overestimate what the impact of the livestock industry was to Kansas City. And the American Royal grew in 1899 out of the first National Hereford Show. And that's where we trace our roots back to, and still have a Hereford Show. And now in this era, in 2012, we do 30-some different events over the fall months and raise a lot of money for youth scholarship and education along the way. That really is our underlying purpose. We do all of these events. We have a world-class livestock show. We do a series of 5 horse shows and many other civic types of things. But at the end of the day, we're a nonprofit. We're a charity, and the money at the end of the day does go to youth scholarship and education.
Well, you talked about the economic impact, and I believe that it will put about $60 million into y'all's local economy.
You are exactly right, and people so often overlook that. That's equal. We had the All-Star Game, baseball All-Star Game in Kansas City this year, which was a big deal for the community. It happens about once a generation. Kansas City went all out for it, and I think did a really, really nice job. The economic impact of that is in the neighborhood of $60 million about what we do, but we do it every year, and we're very proud of it. And what oftentimes flies under the radar are these cattle shows. One animal brings at least an exhibitor, maybe multiplied times 3. They stay for a week. They're a wonderful incentive for our local economy, and we certainly appreciate having them here.
And we watch these kids that are in the show rings, and sometimes they may not think about where that career path leads them to. I know you told me that you grew up in 4-H and FFA as a youngster.
What I tell young people when they come through today is, you know, these networks grow as we age and go on, and the life experiences that you have, and along the way you kind of figure out what you enjoy doing and what you don't. And 4-H and FFA provide wonderful background and training for a lot of people at very senior levels of agribusiness throughout the country.
Let's talk about your daily capacity. Whenever you're here and the stock show is not going on, what do you do?
Number one, we have our operations. We do 30-some different events, from all the horse shows to all of that, over a 3-month period in the fall. As in most households, we have lots of ways we can spend money, but we have to be good fiscal stewards of the public resources, because we have to go out every year and raise the money to do all of these things. And raising money from sponsors to help us continue to do what we do.
For a lot of people that may be watching our show, then that might not understand exactly what all it entails, but you have about 450 people that you have to manage to put on just this event.
Well, that's right, and in fact, we have a permanent staff here of only about 12 people. Now, during the show season, we'll hire seasonal help, and that'll swell to maybe 20 people, and that's a very lean staff, so we have to come into show season with our homework done. And we have to have the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and we have to be ready to execute and have all of the extraneous materials done when showtime arrives.
Well, there's so much behind the scenes work that goes into putting on an event like this. You've got the guys that are back in the barns making sure that the barns are clean and the aisles are clean and the restrooms are clean, and sometimes those people are overlooked.
Well, they are overlooked, and while you and I are visiting, it's a big logistical effort.
You're going to have a new facility before too long.
We are so excited, Terry, about this. We're sitting, if people could look out the window of my office right now, they'd see Kemper Arena, which was built down here about 40 years ago and was Kansas City's premier entertainment center for 40 years. It had a great run. That run ended in 2007 when the city built the Sprint Center downtown. Wonderful new facility, but for a city of Kansas City size, they can only support one arena. And Kemper had a great run, but after 40 years, it sits empty. We use it for a couple of events, but not much. The city is still obligated to keep it open and running, and we can take Kemper down and put up a new right-size facility for far less than what it takes to keep this empty building operating. At some point, and you hate to put a time frame on this, but maybe in 2 years, we'll be ready to break ground on a new facility.
Well, y'all have such a wonderful event here, and it's been our pleasure to come out and spend a couple of days with you and showcase y'all's event. As I look around, you guys are second to none.
Thank you so much, Terry. And my hat is always off to RFD TV, our good friend Patrick Gotch, and all of the people there. I'm an RFD TV viewer from the very beginning. And it's so wonderful to see how the network has grown and the great success that it's become. So congratulations to everybody involved. We're glad to be a small part of it.
Thanks for sitting down and visiting.
Thank you, Terry, very much.
When we return, tips and tricks from the judges and winners.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I'm a champion. You can be a champion too. My secret? Stockshow Confidential. Shh.
Well, friends, be sure and check out StockshowConfidential.com, our Breeders' Corner. We have the top lamb, goat, pig, and cattle breeders listed there. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Madison Belcher. I'm 12 years old, and I just won Denver National Western Stock Show with the goat I bought from Schaefer Farms. For your next grand champion animal, do what I did. Go to StockshowConfidential.com, Breeders' Corner.
Advertise on StockshowConfidential.com, Breeders' Corner. It's where the winners shop, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sign up for a listing on our Breeders' Corner, upload your logo, and be ready for your first customer like Madison. Visit the webpage, StockshowConfidential.com, or call me, Terry, 432-416-0379. Welcome back to Stock Show Confidential. As we visit the American Roll in Kansas City, now let's get a closer look at the Shorthorn Cattle Show and see why this breed is so special for the American Roll. I'm here with Tyler Melrose, and Tyler, behind us, the Coliseum for the American Roll. You just came out judging the Shorthorns. Tell me about that.
Really nice show. I'd commented in the ring before the show started today. There was a plaque in the office here, and it commented how in the early 20s, when the American Royal was getting started, they were looking for funds to develop a facility, and I see that the Shorthorn Association was involved with that. So yeah, it's sure an honor to get to judge a breed of cattle that has a lot of history here at the American Royal.
You know, as we watch these youngsters in here showing cattle, and some of them might not understand, you started out that very same way, went on to college, and now you're one of the judges here. Yeah. Tell me about that, how you progressed.
That sure is humbling. I grew up in a family that raised Shorthorn cattle. I was fortunate, just like these kids are all fortunate, that I had parents who took the time to give us the opportunity to come to shows like this. One of my neatest opportunities I ever had was in this building right here behind us right now. I had the champion Shorthorn steer at the Shorthorn Junior Nationals one year, and so a lot of neat history. I was a junior board member in the Shorthorn Association, and really I credit a lot of the skills that I gained in working in those junior programs to what I'm doing in my career now today. So,
what today, as you analyze these cattle, evaluate these cattle, Tell me what you were looking for.
It's always fun. Everybody's got their own unique opinion on cattle, and that's what keeps it interesting. You know, if everybody had the same opinion, it probably wouldn't be nearly as good. You know, I probably got a little different opinion. I always want to be just a little bit outside of the curve. Feet and legs, structural correctness, those things are always critically important. If the running gear ain't right, the rest of it really doesn't matter to me. And so I was fortunate today to have a good set of really sound cattle, and then you work your way up from there and find the things that are important. Where I'm probably a little bit different, where we come from up north and having a little bit of a background now and selling some commercial bulls and those sort of things, we're going to emphasize things a little more like performance and ruggedness and stoutness, whereas I may give up just a titch of some of that appeal that some of the other judges might tie into, but the basics, the foundation, the structural correctness is critically important.
Well, as you go back and look at your college career, obviously that set the stage for you to move to the next level to be a judge here. I know you were on one of the livestock judging teams in college.
Yep, fortunate enough to go to South Dakota State University and on a judging team, and then when I got wrapped up there, I actually got a chance to coach the team for about 2.5 or 3 years there as I worked on another degree at South Dakota State. So a great opportunity, obviously. When you come up in our neck of the woods, the judging program is a little different than when you get to the big schools in the South that are really competitive. We get a lot of kids that maybe didn't have a lot of formal training in livestock judging, but kids that have just a lot of natural, common stock sense about them. Kids that really know livestock and what it takes to raise good livestock and what good livestock are. It's really unique coaching South Dakota State University, because your job is basically just to get them, teach them how to express what they already know.
What's the number one thing that you look for?
Now, I like to get right up by the gate when they come in, and I like to see how they move. Not only, a lot of times we get tied into studying them visually from the side and how they move from the side, but I think you know, when you stand by the gate, you get a unique opportunity to watch them come in at you, you watch them come beside you, and then watch them go away from you. In the cattle business, a lot of times in these shows, I see people just get tied into how they move from the side, and that's important. I don't want to downplay that, but if you ever go to them pig shows and stuff, they spend a lot more time in front of them and behind them, and I think that as cattle breeders, we need to spend a little more time doing that as well. I think what that allows you to do is spending a little more time in front of them, behind them. These cattle are so well presented anymore. You know, the hair is nice, there's not a hair out of place, they're clipped, they're presented so well that you got to do everything you can as a judge to try and evaluate what's truly underneath there. And so I think that getting underneath them, studying from front behind, allows a guy to do that.
What is the number one mistake that you see people make whenever they come into the ring?
One thing that I get pretty particular about is I want to see a showman use the whole ring. There's no reason to come up close to the judge. You know, give me some space. You know, if you're out in the pasture evaluating cattle, you're probably not going to evaluate them from 6-8 feet away. From a showmanship standpoint, I really like to see kids use the whole ring.
If you were going to give someone, a youngster, advice on maybe following in your footsteps of going off to college, being on a livestock judging team, and ending up at one of these major stock shows as a judge, what would you tell them?
Work hard. I mean, absolutely work hard. Thank your mom and dad. They really, the expense that goes into this, besides purchasing that animal, just in what it costs to run up and down the road. Listen to your mom and dad, appreciate what they do, and then bottom line, work hard. I think hard work gets people to more success than anything they can imagine. It's not all about the money. It is really not all about the money. And so be persistent and work hard at it.
Sometimes the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on Stock Show Confidential.
Appreciate it.
Stock Show Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stock Show University, Sure Champ, Showmaster Feeds, Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, EB Trailers, Luberson Livestock, and StockShowConfidential.com. Well, friends, I'm here with Katie Alexander, and well, she got some pretty big smiles on her faces. There's a couple of reasons for that. She had a great day yesterday. Tell me about that.
Well, my white heifer ended up in the junior and open show, and she was second in her class and reserve division in both. And then my Shorthorn Plus heifer actually won the Shorthorn Plus show. So
you got a really big check yesterday.
Yeah, it's like a Billy Madison check.
Yeah.
So.
Tell me about this calf, where she came from and how you came to get her.
Well, she came from Sullivan Farms, and we got her on an online sale. which was right after October of last year. So
You're a senior in high school this year, and you're going to head off to college where?
OSU.
Okay. And you're also going to try to stay in the same field. I think you had some people that were mentors for you that kind of maybe talked you into being an ag teacher?
Definitely. My ag teacher that I had up until my sophomore year was very influential for me. So
whenever you get ready to go into show ring, some of the preparation that you go into as far as getting ready, tell me what your daily routine is.
Well, we feed first thing whenever we get here, and then we'll wash and blow dry, and we'll give them some hay, kind of let them relax a little bit, and then we'll start getting them up and start fitting them. You just glue the legs and the tail head and clip and stuff like that. And I actually have a pair of Lucky socks that I always have to wear.
Well, now tell me about that.
Well, it all kind of started last year. I got some socks from our Western store in Weatherford, and I wore them all through last fall show season, and they kind of got a little stinky, but they were good luck.
Yeah.
So
if you could go back and change anything from what you did in the show ring, what would you change?
I think I would just, be more willing just to accept whatever would happen. I mean, I'm so grateful for what I got, but I think just go in and enjoy it more.
What's maybe the number one thing that you want to drive home as far as to young people out there?
I think my number one thing is just I want to make a difference in somebody's life that my ag teachers have made on me, and I just want to make sure that, or give somebody the opportunity to become more confident in themselves and just get out there and here I am, this is what I want to do.
Well, you know, there's so much more than it's more than just about showing livestock. From going in through the FFA and you get to be involved in parliamentary procedure things, you get a really well-rounded education from being involved in FFA.
Definitely. I mean, I've given speeches. I was on the Parley Pro team, Green Hand Quiz Bowl, and just a little variation of everything.
Now, are you an officer at your local chapter?
Yes, I am chapter president for the second year this year.
Second year in a row.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I know you had a wonderful time here at Kansas City, and I know you'll be in Denver as well, so maybe we'll catch you down the trail. As we always like to say, here's hoping we'll see you in the winter circle. We saw you here. We hope that it works out that well for you down the road.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Kids and adults both enjoy learning with Stockshow Confidential. I hope you did your homework. When we come back, we're going to take you to school, literally.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back
With Stockshow Confidential.
You know, raising and competing show animals takes more than good nutrition. It takes determination, dedication, and hard work, traits that are hallmarks to leaders. And that's why Showmaster is proud to feed the potential of the youth leaders through their educational programs, award programs, and support of the 4-H and FFA. Showmaster Feed continues to build the legacy of building champions through their innovative feed programs and nutritional research. Showmaster Feeds. Feed their potential. I'm here with Justin Sistel, and he's the farm manager for Missouri State University. Now, you brought some cattle up. Tell me about them, Justin.
Well, we brought 4 head of our Herefords from our university ranch, but most of my work is actually dealing with professors, research projects, and maintaining the facility that we have in Springfield.
Besides just animals, you're also doing row crops and things like that, obviously.
We do some basic agronomy research. Vineyard and viticulture research is a big thing for our university, along with a horse equine program.
So how did you end up in the capacity that you're in? How did you land this job?
Well, I did graduate from the program. I'm an alumni of the university. I have an animal science degree from there. While I was in school, some other students and I kind of got the idea, along with the animal science professor, to start a cow herd. Before that, we really didn't have anything. We built it using some consignment sales. Local business owners and alumni of the program helped support it and buy some animals for us. And we got started that way with Angus and Charolais and Limousin mainly. And then a few years ago, we obtained the Hereford program.
Justin, let's talk about the farm that you guys just got donated to you.
Yes, that's an impressive thing. The Leo Jernigan family that was in the construction and pavement business there in Missouri donated their entire ranch, lock, stock, and barrel, to the university. It was about a little over a $7 million donation that we received about 4 years ago. It includes 550 registered purebred cows, encompasses about 3,500 acres of ground in south central Missouri, just south of Mountain Grove. And it's just an awesome thing. It gives us so many opportunities for our kids to go and experience something, get their hands dirty, and do that hands-on, pulling cows, working baby calves, making hay, just the everyday aspects of ranching and farm life and producing beef cattle. It's an awesome opportunity for those kids. The wildlife and deer, turkey down there are just fantastic. The land, the cattle, farm equipment, all the ranch staff that was there got to stay. It's a program that's been the 15th largest Hereford herd in the country. So it's just so amazing for us to get a hold of something like that and to be able to use it to help those students. And I think that might be what's one of the benefits to the increase that we're having there at the School of Agriculture.
Justin, if someone wanted to attend the university there, how would they find out a little more information about that?
Well, the campus is located in Springfield, Missouri. For those that may not be familiar with it, we're just about an hour north of Branson. It's about an 18,000 undergraduate school. It's the second largest university in the state of Missouri. It started out as a teacher college way back when in 1906. It's really gained momentum over the last few years. In fact, the School of Agriculture is up over 20% in the number of enrollments that we had from last year. So we haven't had this many kids since the early 70s. The program's going gangbusters, and we're just proud of everything we're doing there. For just general students, go to www.missourastate.edu, or you can go to the School of Agriculture website, which is ag.missourastate.edu, or you can call our office there in the School of Agriculture. Is area code 417-836-5638.
Wish you good luck, and thanks for sitting down and talking with us.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for another episode from Kansas City. You've heard it from our experts. Hard work and preparation really pays off. For those who choose to embrace the Stockshow lifestyle, many opportunities exist. Now, whether you choose to be a top executive in our industry or teach the next generation, the Stockshow industry prepares our future leaders. I'm Terry Jordan, and until next time, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
This is Stockshow Confidential.